What's up, guys? I have a little bit of a different video today. I've been putting on some stuff on the Nova because we've been needing to, well, I needed to get stuff done on the Nova so that I could drive it. Look at my hand is black. Anyways, 4Runner work. It's all messy in here because I've already done one side, and what I did was that I took out these pile of crap ToyTec junker springs coilovers that leak like crazy and rode like crazy, and I've got these beauties, some nice King shocks, and in order to put those on, because they're extended travel, you need to have extended A-arms. So I got the SPC adjustable A-arms. So what we did, gosh, what a mess, I can barely walk in here. We got this side done. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it was total pain. But now that we got a system, I'll show you what to do on this side. That way you guys don't have to make all the stupid mistakes and crap that we went through that we didn't need to, and the whole process of figuring out. You guys will be able to skip all that heartache and go right for the goods. So let's start by getting this wheel up in the air and off, and I'll show you a little tip and trick for pulling these coils out really fast. Okay guys, so I got the bolt down here done. I got the 14s up here done. There's 3 of them, and right here, this is your factory jack that is underneath the back seat, and a little 2x4. What I do is wedge it right here, and I'll show you how we use this to push the arm down and then pop this spring out. Okay, down here, this bolt is already ready to push through. Just give it a little taparoo. Okay. And nope, I need to go a little bit more tension. There it is, pile of crap's out. It literally takes 5 minutes to pull the old one out. But I can tell you it takes more than 5 minutes to put the new one in. So now that that's out, we're gonna go through and detach like this, and the ABS sensor down here. We're gonna detach it right here because we need to pull this A-arm out. So we're gonna get this stuff detached. You can take this jack out though now. Okay, now that we got those 3 things detached, I'm gonna undo this upper ball joint. We're gonna pop it loose, and then we can pull the A-arm out, and I'll show you that. But the worst part of this job is getting this upper ball joint off, but I'll show you how we're gonna do that. But first, I'm gonna do this, and then we'll pop the A-arm out. Okay, we just used a standard pickle fork to pop the joint out. And I got it bungee tied right here. Now I'm just going to take this bolt out, and then this is one big long bolt, and then we're gonna slide it out and pull the arm out, and there should be just enough room to slide this bolt out to the engine compartment. If I have any problems, I'll show you. Okay, so finished taking this off, and then see how it already starts to push. So what you want to do, just have your buddy hang out inside the engine compartment. Okay, so let me pop this out of the way. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this washer back while he pulls on the rod, because it's just gonna barely clear one of your AC lines over here. When you do the driver's side, you're gonna have to worry about a couple relays and a wiring harness that you're gonna have to pop free from the fire or from the fender, and then you'll be able to get it out. But this one is a lot more clear. So, okay, so that's it. Now I should be able to just, yep, there's the A-arm. Okay, so now I will go prep the new one. Before you can work on your arm, you need to make sure and remove all your taco sauces out of the way and leftover tortilla shells, because you want a nice sanitary surface. So we got this. What we got to do is we have to use the provided grease, grease the heck out of these, slide these inserts in, take these over there with us and put it back in. So let me do that. Okay, arm is all lubed. You'll know this is the right side when there's an R stamped on here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. R is for right. Oh my gosh, I just got grease all over my shorts. Damn it. What the hell? Okay, so look at, he's got the bolt there dangling like a freaking dog puppy boner, ready for some love. So we're gonna give him somewhere to put that. Make sure and feed this under there. This is really hard to hold the camera, so maybe you guys can just wait. Oh no, I got this. Okay. Make sure you got your rubber in the right spot. Oh, hold on. I already failed you. Washer. Don't forget your washer. Okay, go now. Hold on, go back a little bit. Okay, now go. Helps to do a little wiggle. And then, I don't think you guys are going to see this side very well, but keep going. Oh, see some fingers? Do you want me to grab from right there? Yep, I'm wiggling it. I think you're right there. It's like, yeah, there you go. And we got through. So then, put the washer on. And then, that was just a regular bolt, right? Is that the regular bolt?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this is like the same bolt as the,
No, it's not a cast.
No, but is it, where's the bolt? Hold on, I lost bolts, guys. Be right back. Now that your bolt's in, torque this down to 85 foot-pounds, and then we'll start working on extracting this crappiest job, this ball joint. So now the thing is, even though we have a ball joint puller, this is not tall enough to put the adapters on here and pop out this ball joint at the same time. So what we're gonna do is, after we remove the snap ring, I'm gonna pop this boot off, and then we're gonna take a cutting wheel and cut this ball joint off as flat as we can. That way we don't have all this surface flopping around, and then we can press it out. So first off, let me pull this wire that's holding the boot in, pop the snap ring, and then we'll get this cut. Just like that. Now we can get the ball joint press tool out and actually fit it on here. see. Right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one's bungee.
Forget it. That's how you have it set up, okay? Okay, so we got it popped out with the ball joint puller. Now we're going to use the same thing to press this piece back into there until it's nice and flush. And then when you get it in there, you put the snap ring on the bottom side. So we're going to go ahead and put this on since we have all the ball joint tools out right now. Just for reference, so you guys can see how we're pressing this on here. And we'll go ahead and tighten this up, and then I'll press it into there, and then we'll show you when we're done. Okay, here's the new piece, pressed in, snap rings on the bottom. If you don't have good snap ring pliers, it's a two-man job. So now we got to take this and set this up in the arm according to these specs. And if you guys have been on Toyota4runnerorg.com, people are running it at full caster G, along with changing the A-arm settings to get your wheel move forward a little bit, so for more wheel well clearance. So I'm going to set this up for G. We're going to get it in there and get the set back up, then we can start putting the shock in. So G setting is with this symbol pointing towards the back of the vehicle. If it was D, it would be pointing towards the tire. But it's pointing back there, so it's that way. And then I got the camber kind of set right in the middle because this will slide forward and back, so I got it kind of set in there and just snugged up tight. So now I'm going to put this back on here, just lightly loosen it, lightly tighten it with the nut, and then we're going to go ahead and lift the new coilover up into place. Okay, shock coilover is ready to go in. Tips. This valve has to face outwards so that it's accessible. Now with this whole pattern right here, this is not going to line up perfectly. It will line up perfectly, but if you line these up with that, this will not line up with that. So what you got to do is just put the coilover top first, get it snug, put a bar in this, and twist it until it matches up. Supposedly if this was going on a Tacoma, everything would line up first shot, but I guess 4Runner stuff is like 30 degrees off, so that's why you have to get the top in first and then twist the bottom. So that's what we're gonna do now. Set up in there. It takes two people because it's heavy and frustrating, and I recommend starting with the back bolt first. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. We got all three bolts up here started. The whole thing is really loose, and look at the angle of this versus the spot it needs to go to. So that's like the 30 degrees that we need to rotate the base to meet up with the eyelets of the lower mounting on the lower arm. But before we do that, we're going to snug up these three top bolts and see how the valve is accessible here on the outside. That's what you want, is the valve on the outside. So snug those up, twist it with like a cheater bar, because you can't just do it with a screwdriver unless you got a really big screwdriver. And then we'll put the bottom in, and then we can start cinching everything tight. Okay, now that we got it twisted and fitting in there, what we're gonna do is that same jack thing we did at the very beginning. We're gonna put this back up here, push the arm down, and that'll allow us to get the bolt into the bottom of the shock. Okay, coilovers bolted in, upper ball joints bolted in, the camber's kind of set right here in the center. And now we're just going to go back through and bolt up our ABS line, and then we just got to mess with the cam adjusters on the lower A-arm, and then we'll be done. Okay, now I'm going to adjust these cam bolts. Give me that flashlight. Right now it's kind of vertical. I'm going to change that. I'm going to have this A-arm sucked all the way in that way, and then the back of the arm is going to have it turned all the way this way, so the whole thing's shifting. What that's doing between the way that the ball joint is angled is it's pushing the whole wheel forward like maybe an inch total overall, so you get that much more clearance between the fender and the tire, so should eliminate any rubbing whatsoever. But yeah, this is gonna get turned. I'll show you what it's like when I turn it. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. Now the cam, this front one is pushed all the way in, and the back one is pushed all the way out. So that's supposed to maximize your wheel clearance against the firewall. So basically that's it, all installed. The only thing left to do is an alignment, and it really needs to get aligned before you can really start driving on it. So I'm just gonna do like a home quick alignment just so it moves, and then schedule a regular alignment because it ain't gonna happen today. So anyways, that's how you change them out. Alright guys, it's the next day. I haven't driven this. I haven't even tested out my shocks because my alignment is so far out of whack. So I've got the steering wheel pretty darn straight. I don't know if you can see, this wheel is turned out like that way a little bit, that way. And this one is way out. So, and the camber is totally off. So that's what I've got to work on today. First thing I'll do is I'll work on the camber, and all that is this top bolt. I'll show you with the flashlight. You loosen that nut, and then it slides forward and back to adjust the camber. So they want you to set it in the middle setting when you first do this, and that's kind of where they're at. So they both need to go inbound, probably almost all the way. From on the forums I've read, people just maxed out the camber and then did the toe after that. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. Get the camber in, just the toe. I got the camber all the way in on this one. Looks about perfect. I hope it is, because I can't adjust it anymore. So I'm going to do the toe now, and hopefully this all straightens itself out. So what you do is you take a couple cutting boards from your house, stick them under the wheels. It'll help you do it the toe. Wheels will slide up a little easier. Okay, toe is all set. It came out great. The camber is like perfect. It's just like 0.6 degrees in a hair, so it's barely cambered at the max setting. Looks awesome. So now all I have to do is just torque it. The torque on those nuts on those ball joints is 150 foot-pounds. This maxes out at 150 foot-pounds, so we'll just go to the end and then give a little extra little tug on there to make sure. But this is a 32mm nut. Had to go to Harbor Freight, pick it up for $5. Now we're ready to torque it up, and this job will be complete. All done. Looking so good. Cool thing that the height is about the same as was before, and I didn't add any height into these, so hopefully these ride good. That's what I'll do next. Take it for a little test drive, but not right this moment. I'll keep you guys posted. That's the install though. Oh, so nice.